Well, hello, friends. Welcome back to the car. So, today I thought we could talk a little bit about discipline because a lot of people ask me, how do I manage to work on Serenity almost every single day? And I have some techniques for that work well for me. They might not work for you or for anybody else, but it's all I got, right? Because I can only experiment on myself. So, one of the big things I figured out about myself at some point is that I don't respond well to goals, and goals tend to stress me out and make me less interested in working on something. And what I need instead of goals is process and habits. So, um, a routine essentially. And the way I apply that knowledge to my work on Serenity is that at some point in the past, I just decided that my routine, my daily routine from now on is going to be that I spend about an hour or more doing something every day that furthers the Serenity OS project, whether that's making a video or writing code, reviewing patches, or helping somebody else with their code or whatever, anything that just moves the project forward. And it's as important to me as eating, sleeping, or brushing my teeth or whatever. And for me, it's really that simple because once I have eliminated the sort of the idea that this is something skippable, then it just becomes part of my routine and part of my process. And um, I find that if I need to get motivated to do something, then eventually I'm going to run out of motivation and just stop doing it. So I have to get motivation out of the equation. And I do that by turning something into a habit or process or routine or whatever. And it's the exact same thing I use to get myself to the gym because um, I can't rely on motivation to go to the gym either because some days I just might not feel like lifting weights, right? But I have already decided a long time ago that I'm doing that, and it's part of my routine. And if we're gonna lift weights today, we're gonna do it whether we feel like it or not. And it's if I get sick, of course, I don't go. But um, if I feel fine, then I'll just go because it's part of my process. And this is essentially my whole technique: is that I eliminate motivation from the equation and just decide that I'm going to do something. And I think um, a lot of people underestimate what you can do with even just half an hour every day. If you spend half an hour every day on something, a year from today, that something is going to it's going to grow into something pretty big. And um, I think probably weightlifting is where I really learned like the power of incremental improvement like that. Although I probably also learned it from doing performance work. Maybe I got a little bit from both. It synergized really well for me because I spent many, many years chasing 1%, 2% performance improvements in WebKit. And that was just my day to day life in at work, just looking for those tiny little improvements. And um, after I got one, then it was just on to the next one. And there was no like celebration that you got to the goal or something like that. It was just got to keep going. And that it did something to me. It shaped my brain into this thing that thrives in a routine like that. And um, I'm probably not the only person who thrives in a routine. I suspect this would work for many other people, but I don't really know how to crystallize it into a concept. But maybe what I'm saying resonates with somebody and it makes sense to you. Because I guess what I'm saying is that I realized at some point that my motivation is very fickle, right? It's unreliable and flaky, and it can get really strong when it's there, but I don't know how long it will stay. So I just can't rely on it, and I can't um, make any assumptions about when I'm going to feel motivated. So screw motivation. Um, just make it a habit instead. Uh, that's my technique. That's my technique for discipline. And maybe this is what discipline is, and I'm just saying something really obvious, but this was not obvious to me, um, 10 years ago. So um, just thought I could share what I had learned about myself, and maybe that's useful to somebody. Anyways, I guess that's all I have today. So thank you very much for hanging out with me in the car. And I'll get back to those AMA questions soon enough. But today, this was just something on my mind. So thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time. Bye.